Randy, Randy, we have something for you.
Hey, you guessed it. He found me. All right, welcome back, folks. And yes, Earl is on the premises, and he is letting his presence be known. Today we're going to talk about rosewood. There's a lot of confusion about rosewood in acoustic guitars, okay? All kind of talk, man, and you know, it's a lot of what you pay for when you buy an acoustic guitar. If you buy a cheap one, that's what you get. If you buy an expensive one, that's what you get. And the rosewood is a big contribution to those price differences. There are other things too, but that's one of the main, one of the big things that causes, you know, you have somebody say they've got a cheap guitar, whatever, and it's got rosewood. The back and sides of the thing are rosewood, but they paid, you know, $200, $300 for it. And then you buy a $3,000 guitar and the back and sides is rosewood on that. People don't realize there's like Brazilian rosewood, East Indian rosewood, now they're getting Indian rosewood, and there's others, but those are the three big ones that Martin, Taylor, Santa Cruz, and Gibson, not so much, but they do it too, are going after, okay? These companies went after Brazilian rosewood like it was, well, like it was going out of style, which it pretty much was, and did, and has. So when they used all that up, I'm talking about perfect top grade A wood, man. That's another thing. There's different grades of rosewood. That's why a cheap guitar might have rosewood back and sides. It's a very low grade. They run from A to Z, the grades of it does. And whether it's perfect or defective or got some flaws in it, whatever, Taylor is using rosewoods for their fretboards now. That's defective. They have streaks, like white streaks in them now. Taylor's didn't drop their prices any down. They're using that as a design to look nice. And it does look pretty good, but you know, I'm not crazy about having a big white streak up my fretboard. I certainly wouldn't want to pay more for that. But anyways, getting back to Brazilian rosewood, they use all that up. It's practically gone now. All these guitar companies and everyone else that wanted the top high grade A wood, rosewood, have used it all. Pretty much all of it. Some of the companies have it in stock, you know, set back for special instruments or whatever. So then they went to East Indian rosewood. That was the big thing. When they couldn't get any more Brazilian rosewood, it was East Indian rosewood. I think that's what this guitar right here has in it. I can't be 100% certain of that. You can look at it. Maybe some of you that know wood better than I do can tell if that's East Indian or just Indian rosewood. But they used all that up, all the perfect East Indian rosewood and Brazilian rosewood. So then they decided, well, Indian rosewood's good enough. It's practically all they could get. So, and there's different grades of each one of these. Brazilian rosewood, there's different grades of that. You can get a very high quality Brazilian rosewood, and you get a cheaper Brazilian rosewood, which is still off the charts, you know, very expensive, even though it's a cheaper, lower grade. Same with East Indian and Indian rosewood and all the others. Being perfect, I got notes here. I can't remember too good. Woo! It's the same thing with like spruce. Spruce, it comes in different grades. You can get cheap spruce. You can get spruce from one location that's better than another. Whether it's defective or got flaws or any problematic, well, not really problematic areas, but just flaws in it, you know, not perfect wood. Most guitar companies, I don't know if I can show you this or not, as far as the spruce tops go, they like to have a really, really tight grain right in here, right behind the bridge and up through the center of the book-matched spruce top. Now, I don't know if you can see the grain in the wood there, as opposed to, I can't see the camera, as opposed to right there. The grain is a whole lot tighter right here in this area than it is up here or down here in this area. Now, I don't know if the camera, let me turn it up like this so you can see it better. Get the light glare off of it. See how much tighter the grain is behind the bridge. And the tighter that grain is, the more you're going to pay for that guitar. They look for that. They intentionally do it for the sound. The tighter grain supposedly produces better sound. But getting back to rosewood, it's the grade of wood is what you're paying for, or not paying. It's one of the things you're paying for in expensive guitars. Like I say, each one of those that I mentioned, and each one of them that exists, wherever it may come from, there are different grades of it. Brazilian rosewood, right now, I don't think you can even find it or buy it. I mean, I'm not talking about me or you. I'm talking about these big guitar companies. Martin, Santa Cruz, Taylor. Of course, like I say, they have it in stock, you know, set back for special whatever they got in mind to use it on. But as far as going out and buying the stuff right now, I don't think you can do it. They've used it all, man. It's all gone. It's in these old Martin guitars, and Taylor and Santa Cruz got in on a little bit of it. They haven't been around quite as long, but you know, that's a whole lot of what you're paying for, and it's a whole lot of the difference in the sound of your guitar and the structure of it, how well it might hold up over 50, 60 years as compared to a lower grade of rosewood. You know, you get kind of cheaper guitars with rosewood back and sides, and sometimes they come apart. Some of them hold together really well over a very long period of time. And usually, though, they don't hold, you know, like a more higher-end guitar will. Higher-end ones come apart, too. Usually it's the glue that they use, and it's hot glue in most cases. Over time, you know, the wood, it gets humidified, it swells up, and it gets smaller, and swells up and dries out and gets smaller. And that change back and forth over time, with the wood moving, the glue not moving so much, it's like taking a piece of wire. You know, I'm sure you all did it. Start bending that little piece of wire. You keep bending it and bending it. It holds a long time. Finally, it breaks. Same way with the wood, where the glue joints are. That glue joint just keeps giving all it can, and it's not very much. And finally it's going to come loose. And that's usually the high-end guitars do that over time, if the humidity is not maintained in them. But anyways, I hope that helps with the rosewood and different types and different grades of each type. And rosewood's a very oily wood anyways. They can use it on fretboards and not even finish over it. I mean, you still got to, I use linseed, as you all know. You should treat it, condition it now and then. Not very often. But, you know, if you left I don't know, if you left like a mahogany fretboard unfinished like that, you'd have big problems a whole lot sooner than you're going to have problems with unfinished rosewood as a fretboard. So anyways, I hope that helps. It's just a few pointers on rosewood that a lot of people talking about it on Facebook groups that I'm in there. I don't get into those a lot, but I do occasionally. I read them every day. I just don't post that much in them. It keeps me busy keeping up with my own EMs and emails and PMs and comments, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching, folks. As usual, I hope this helps some of you guys that was talking about that. Oh, yeah. I decided what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to paint this black. Not glossy black, but like a satin black. You guys remember Cam, okay? Cam told me about a paint that he has personally used. It's for plastic. And he'd used it a lot. He said it held up really well. And, you know, it was very durable. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I think it would look a lot better than white on that black telly over there. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'll probably go ahead and set the guitar up and leave this off until I can get somewhere they have the stuff. Cam said they had it at Walmart. And that's about a 20-minute drive from here. So I don't know when I'll make it. But I'll probably just go ahead and set the guitar up and make the video finishing that, and then make one doing a pick guard and put the back on. Who knows? Cheers, thanks. I'll see you in the next video soon. Several of y'all been asking what I've been playing through. I've been playing through that twin reverb. I use this little amp here sometimes. It's a Fender as a just a jam. It's got jam tracks in it, and I jam along with them. I've been messing with this line 6 here. That belongs to my son. And I don't really like the distortion on that, any of this distortion. It has some other nice effects, but for distortion, I don't know if there's enough light there to get that or not. That is a vintage Tube Master made by Behringer, and I love the distortion on that. That's what I've been using on videos. This thing I've just been playing around with. Got some nice effects, but the distortion sucks, man. Cheers to you.
Randy.